YouTube, welcome to the top 16 every single week. By watching as long as you can, that greatly supports these videos, even if you have us on in the background when you're folding laundry or you're working out. Thank you. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We are just going to have an Ash Blossom to help disrupt the opponent's play, starting off with the Magician's Soul, sent from the deck, and I'm SETI, as the Magician's Soul now makes a Linkuriboh, and that will be triggering the Parallel Exceed to activate to summon from the deck. We're not going to Ash negate that. We have Imperm negate a monster, we have Masquerena into a Little Knight Banish, into another Little Knight Banish, into Effect Veil or Negate, and on top of those 4 disruptions, we have 4 more through the Apollo USA, so 8 disruptions, and we also, if we summon a monster, that's going to trigger the field spell to Reborn from the back row of Flameburge, which is not inherently a form of disruption. Let's go. Remus, discard, add from the deck a Dragon Ravine. Apollo, negate, now down to 7 disruption. Sure. There's the Ravine that you negated me from searching. Well, that's fine. I'm going to Masquerena into a Little Knight. Masquerena, link off with the Oak, come forth. Little Knight, banish the Ravine before it searches for a Dragoonity or sends a dragon from the deck to the grave. Banish, we're now down to 6 disruption. Pydra is here, on summon, activate. This chain link blocks the negate. You cannot use Apollo and the field spell in response to Pydra. There's no way to do it, so you'd have to say no to the field spell, then negate with Apollo. We're going to Veiler, so we don't care. Negate. Now down to 5 disruptions. Relying on the Veiler could have been a bit risky potentially, because they could have possibly followed up with a Call by the Grave onto it. We're going to battle, take out the Little Knight. We have 4 more disruption, 3 on Apollo and 1 on the Impermanence. We're going to banish 2 Wind and or Dragons to summon the Tempest Dragon as the Apollo negates. 3 disruption left. And just like that, we used 5 of our 8 disruptions, and that was enough to completely keep them in their place. And forcing out the scoop as we activate the Water Enchantress. I don't know what either player is playing here. I'm so confused. Water Enchantress, Dragoonity, what the hell? Pydra, activate. So you have to understand that Tenpai lost game 1, then chose to go first because it's not a true pure Tenpai deck. We're gonna be setting from the deck our Sanguine Summoning, Sanguine Summon, grab from our deck a Chandra. We're holding on to that Impermanence, by the way, as we now discard Destrudo, special summoning Chandra, Destrudo Reborn from the graveyard as a level 3 tuner, to then make an Ancient Fairy Dragon, which will now destroy the Sanguine Summoning, searching for the Dragon Ravine. We have a lot to deconstruct here. We have the ability to spin back a face-up card non-targeting. We have the ability to destroy a monster in response to it activating. We have the ability to omni-negate any spell trap or monster effect. We're not done. We also have the Shooting Riser Dragon, which could synchro during the opponent's turn into a form of disruption, I'm sure, which could be used with whatever we summon from the deck with the Hieratic Seal. Now, it's not just 4 disruption. We have a 5th one hiding, which is the Fairy Tale Snow. That's 5 disruption, but wait, there's a 6th secret disruption. If we Fairy Tale Snow, flip a monster face down, then use it for the synchro of the Shooting Riser Dragon, it's now back in the grave to resummon to flip another monster face down, giving us 6 total disruptions versus 5 cards. They're going to draw for their 5th card right now. All right, good luck. Magician's Soul, send from the deck, Diablo to come forth and summon Fairy Tale Snow, Reborn by banishing 7. We still have 11 cards left in grave, triggering the Blaster and Tempest when banished to search our deck. We are going to be flipping you down. Tribute Snow with seals. I guess that would be another form of destruction. It could be 7, right? You could Hieratic Seal Tribute off the Snow to flip, send a card. Yeah, that's a good idea. So now 7. 7 disruptions. We have Poplar, but we used one of them, so now we're down to 6. We're going to Shooting Riser. We're going to Synchro. What? You're not Black Rose Dragoning the field? There's no way you're wiping the field. Okay, so we lost the disruption since the Synchro was not a disruption. Fairytale Snow, banishing to come forth and summon. Flip the Poplar face down. We still have more disruption. Why did you enter the battle phase? So that we could activate our cards in the battle phase to synchro with our Tenpai dragons that we summoned from the deck. Vajra Reborn the Tundra, synchro into a Bident Dragon within the battle phase, reborn the Genroku. All right, there you go. The Hermetic, so the Heavenly Sphere would spin back by tributing the Snow, then Reborn Snow, and then Pater, and then Borreload. So we still had 4 more disruptions. That is insanity. Saying and summoning off the top of the deck as we synchro right into the Transcendent Dragon to attempt to enter the battle phase, I'm sure. Change everything into attack position. To battle we go. Nothing can be activated as we have almost 12,000 damage. We do have more than 12,000 because the Bident Dragon engrave. Lethal damage. Very nicely done. Dragoonity Tenpai. Wow. I guess the question is, if you're playing Dragoonity, why are you not playing Tenpai in your Dragoonity? Does it straight up make the deck a lot better? Let's go into game 3. King Sark. Do we Ash this? It's activatable more than once per turn, so it would not be a good Ash Blossom as we reborn the I'm Seti and another level 8 to then make the Zombie Vampire Mate. This is now when we would want to use our Ash Blossom as they're going to mill 4 from both decks, then summon a monster among the 8 cards milled. But we do have the Call by the Grave to finger the Ash. Negate. Now, let's see what we are cooking from here. We need some good mills to pop off. So, let's see. We milled off the top of our deck to just summon another I'm Seti to make a Little Knight. This is like not plan B, or this is like plan D. This is really bad. Ending with just a Little Knight from our 60-card pile deck. This is not what Reddit was complaining about. We're now going to set up our Dragon, Ravine, discard our Tempest, send from the deck a Blaster, banish 2 dragons in the graveyard to reborn the Tempest, trigger the Blaster to search our deck for a Fire Dragon. Well, Fire Dragon, Tenpai are all Fire Dragons. You could play Gold Sark, banish a Blaster for a play that you can cope with when Tenpai start getting hit more by the ban list. As we special summon our Genroku into our Transcendent Dragon. To battle we go. Nothing can be activated from the opponents as we're now going to Kaiman for game. Just like that, that's it. Your Maxi means nothing. It's a lingering effect that's continually drawing cards, so it's not activating under Transcendent. But any newly drawn card, no matter what it is, nothing from you can be activated. Absolutely nothing, as we guaranteed have lethal damage. Synchro within the battle phase, Tundra and Pydra, Shokan into the Bident Dragon. Bident for 2,600, also reborn from the grave. We have attack, synchro again, reborn from the grave, attack again. Just like that. Dragoonity Tenpai. The best of turn 1, the best of turn 2. That's the idea. A good turn 1 deck that has a bad turn 2, mix it with your Tenpai deck. Wow, that kind of sucked. Arius not being able to set a big welcome on turn 1, then making it activatable. We're going to activate Maxi in the draw phase, Ash Blossom, negate. And just like that, we're going to start cooking with our branded plays. And can we do it through a Daruma plus Impermanence? Double disruption play. Send from the deck the Tragedy, searching for an Alibur to take up our normal summon here. On summon, Imperm, negate, Imperm onto Alibur is correct, I believe so. What if they already have Branded Fusion in the hand? Well, then they're searching for a Branded Lost. Negate. What else do we have? We have the Magna Hut, banishing Tragedy. It is a hard once per turn effect, not activating again, as we now make Anaconda. Our last chance to flip them face down is now gone, but we could instead flip the newly summoned Mirror Jade. That does work out. Send the Branded Fusion, come forth into Mirror Jade. Now remember, we do have the attack here, but not enough for lethal, of course. 3k damage. Do we then, we're gonna wait on the Daruma. We'll flip it down on our own turn, but let's establish that we have an actual play to make, which we now do. We're going to flip down the Mirror Jade. Arius will discard itself to then set up the big welcome and then get ready for big plays from there. Likely we're going to see a Maxi change the big welcome. No, we're waiting. We're waiting. Okay, yep, just wait up. We waited, mate. And the Mirror Jade did banish itself, sure. And what did it send to the graveyard? A Rinbrum. So we do have the Rinbrum waiting to, only during the opponent's turn, to reborn the Albaz to fuse with a potential play. So maybe that Rinbrum Albaz scared us into wanting to commit with the Arius. Grab back the Branded Fusion from the banished pile from the graveyard. It does not matter. The kit will grab it from anywhere as you now fuse into Albion. Albion on summon, banish from the graveyard the Anaconda and Albaz to now make our newly summoned Mirror Jade to non-target monster banish. The clock. Clock is gone. Open field, 7,200 for lethal damage. We're going to be chaining the Maxi to that big welcome labyrinth, attempting to protect us from lethal damage here. Now, we're going to summon, then return back, then summon a 2,900 to block the 25. So it is good, similar to playing around a Gores, holding on to your biggest attack. If we attacked first with the Mirror Jade, we let it go through, and then the other two attacks would then be stopped. Block it with the Lady, just like that. Goodbye to 25. But there's now a Bestial Serenir to attack alongside the kit. Is that going to be enough? No, it definitely is not. 800. Wait, did we misplay? Had we attacked with kit first, yeah, we could have attacked with kit first, and then if we would have blocked the kit, the Serenir plus the Albion would have been lethal damage. That 800 life point difference by not inherently playing around Gores from 20 freaking years ago? What is going on? We're going to Lubellion set up the Branded Loss as we now have a Fusion Duplication to copy the effect of the Branded Fusion plus the Branded in red. Holy moly, we have so much here. There's no way we're playing through this. Yep, Lovely is dead. Arius can special summon Lovely. Lovely can attempt to return a trap from the graveyard onto the field, but we're obviously not going to allow that to happen. Big Welcome will chain spin herself back because we're just trolling. Yeah. Okay, add back with the Brand Red. Let's speed this up. Not going to even fuse. End the turn. Not even surrendering. What is going on? To battle we go. Lethal damage. Begin. Arius will be turn one, setting up the big welcome, making it activatable the turn it's set. We're going to come forth and summon Lady Labyrinth, chaining that Maxi, which could chain the Arius to special summon itself onto the field before that Maxi resolves, thus drawing one less card. Now, something super toxic here is happening. What's revealed to just us, the viewers, is they are playing the Vice King lock. You give the Vice King to your opponent, and then it states while on the field, you cannot special summon monsters except Triple D. That's a problem. We're going to be setting up a Dimensional Barrier, which will declare fusion, then fusion monsters cannot be specialed, and the fusions on the field will be negated. We're going to Lovely return back the Arius through the effect of the Big Welcome, triggering Lovely to pop a card from the hand, randomly taking out that fusion duplication to then set up the Big Welcome to be used again. A lot of disruption here. A super floodgate that will continually be recycled with Lovely to infinitely lock them out of fusion monsters, as there is a giant grass-looking greener milling a ton of cards off the top of the deck here. Here are all the cards on screen, as we now have a Cartesia banished from the grave of the Mercurier, triggering the Mercurier to search for an Albaz monster. We have Quem, which we have not committed to our normal summon yet. We're going to Big Welcome Labyrinth, to summon from the deck hand or grave to then trigger the Lovely to pop a card on the field non-targeting, as the Brandon Red will be added back from the grave through the effect of the Retribution. Return back the Chandelier. Now, what's crazy about the Lovely is we don't know. That's the problem. You don't know if it's going to pop your hand. You don't know if it's going to pop a card in the field. And if it pops a card in the field, again, you don't know what card. It's non-targeting. So if we chain Cartesia, whatever we summon, it won't even trigger if it gets destroyed by Lovely on the resolution of Lovely. Torby is triggering to reborn itself onto the field. We're going to chain Cartesia because we think that the Cartesia might get wiped out. Thus then chaining Dimensional Barrier, turning off the ability to summon fusion monsters, which will then chain our final fusion summon. So even if it weren't for Lovely popping the newly summoned fusion off of the Brandon Red, the newly summoned monster still will not be able to be not negated, because as it's summoned, this would then be resolved. You then also negate the effects of all monsters of fusions while they are on the field. Add the Albaz through the red, fuse it up into Albion, which is negated, or we could pop it on resolution and then it wouldn't even be able to activate. Reborn Torby, pop a card in the hand, and now it's been revealed that they are playing the Toxic Floodgate. Torby discarding Chandelier to set up a big welcome. As we then clock, add back to the hand to be discarded to make a newly set trap activatable the turn it's set, which would be off of the Lady Labyrinth. So it was very important to chain something to the Welcome Labyrinth so that Lady would not be able to set a newly set trap that is then activatable. The problem is we can't chain Ash. Ash is not activatable to a Welcome Labyrinth because the Lovely hiding under her dress is a secret extra effect. That is, the first line, your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of a normal trap card. There you go. Unblockable. Now, what could have blocked this was a card like Retribution. You activate Welcome Labyrinth, you chain Retribution, then it can't set from the deck. So maybe we should have focused on Chain Link blocking with Retribution instead of trying to get out this Albion Dragon that's negated anyway. We have the Dogmatic Punishment, which is activatable if we discard the clock. We have the Ariana, which we will now be able to negate with Ash as it's attempting to search our deck for a Labyrinth card. I don't think we even really needed this effect. Clock it up, get ready to punish. We are punishing the Cartesia, sending the Malong. Malong's going to spin back the Albion back to the extra deck, triggering the Chandelier because a monster left the field through a trap effect. Add back to the hand. This is impossible to come back with. Even if you survive a turn of Dimensional Barrier is every single turn that you can't stop Lovely. Lovely, return it back from the grave, keep on calling Fusion. Super toxic loop. All right, let's go. Branded in High Spirits. We're going to be revealing Albion, discarding it to then send a Titanclad to grab an Albaz monster from the deck. Cartesia is going to special summon while we have an Albion in grave. Now, finally, at the end of the turn, we want to activate our monster effects as the Mercurier is going to negate the Chandelier. You will not be able to set up a preemptive trap here. No big welcome from the deck. Reborn the Arius because you chain to the effect of a Labyrinth card. As the Albion resolves setting up that Retribution, we returned back in the deck through the kit. We're now going to Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banish, getting rid of that Arius, triggering the Albalinatus to search for a fusion deployment. Titanclad also searching for a fallen Albaz. Now, what is good? The Mirror Jade is already not activatable because it is a soft per 2 turns. So we are going to be flipping, we're going to be fusing with it, with the Cartesia. So by getting in the grave, we then trigger the Quem to reborn it back to the non-target monster banish again. What are we imperming here, by the way? Like, let me just see this. We're going to imperm what? The Cartesia within the draw phase so that it does not get the Mirror Jade in the grave, which is only activatable within the main phase. So a good use of the impermanence. You have to toggle on to make this play, otherwise you go straight to the main phase and you are screwed. So that play is now screwed. We then have the Brandon Red, which could turn into a fusion play, maybe a Guardian Chimera to pop multiple cards in the field. We then have the Retribution, which can negate the effect of special summon. We have Ash Blossom. And yeah, you know, the Cartesia kind of got messed up. So that works out. Quem could reborn an Albaz to also fuse with, so I would say let's count that. Pot P, nope. You're not going to look at the top 6 cards of your deck, then grab whatever you want. Negate. So with 3 disruptions left, Quem, Red, and Retribution. We are now going to use the Branded in Red. Chaining the Arius to set up the big welcome, making it activatable right here, right now. Now, there's a big problem. The problem is the Brandon Red is Chainlink 1. It being Chainlink 1 means that the big Welcome Labyrinth will not be activatable on the resolution of the Arius. There will be a window where we can't use it. Now, is that our fault for that happening? Yes, it is our fault. I'll tell you why. Saray should have toggled on and used Arius on the resolution of adding the big welcome. Had we used it with turn player priority, we would have been able to force the Branded in Red to either be used on a separate chain or be used on Chain Link 2, which would then make the Branded Lost not turn off the use of the Big Welcome on Resolution. It's a very small detail, but it is a big deal. You got to use and abuse player priority against Branded Lost. You let them Chain Link 1 a Fusion, you now can't use Big Welcome when we should have been able to. This should not have happened. Had we toggled on, which we already toggled on to Imperm, but we didn't toggle on the Arius. Now, did it cost us the entire game? I think we would have lost anyway. Now, we are able to do so on the Resolution. We're going to Branded Retribution, negate the Big Welcome anyway, even had we had set it up early where we could have used it while we had a monster on field. Super screwed. The Imperm, you know, maybe did a little bit by turning off the Cartesius to not reborn the Mirror Jade, but then we saw through all of the other forms of disruption, it proved to be way too much for Labyrinth to deal with. Thus, this is, bro, what was that? Gia, look into that right now. No way. This dude did not do that. You did not do that. Name's Tenpai, not playing Tenpai, negating his own Max C. Could it have been a mistake? And could he have been playing Tenpai right before this tournament? We'll look into it. Begin. Tenpai versus Snake Eye Fire King. Snake Eye Fire King is actually climbing on the tier list as people are going back and forth with the best ways to play against Tenpai. And it right now is up there at tier 1 alongside Yubel and Tenpai as we have our negate for the Snake Eye Ash mates, even though there's the potential of getting Kieran. The Kieran is now just semi-limited though, being able to dodge the impermanence by popping the Ash. Poplar equipping the Snake Eye Diablo Star, and then we end our turn. So the Magna Hut actually turned out to not be a form of disruption as we add back the Genroku. Now, adding Genroku to the hand from the grave, that triggers the Genroku. If it's added to the hand in any way whatsoever, it's going to activate to summon from the hand to then summon from the deck. Come forth Pydra in the end phase using the hard once per turn set of the Sanguine Summoning. So immediately within main phase 1, we can flip it up, and now our fire dragons will be unaffected only while we control them on the field. We're gonna grab back the Ponix, flip up the Sanguine Summoning, and now that Pydra is unaffected from something like an Impermanence, we're going to Chandra, activate the special summon. Now we're going to negate by banishing the Chandra in grave that we got into the grave through the effect of the zombie vampire. That is absolutely devastating. Is there anything we could do here? Well, the Kaiman could special summon the Chandra if we really want to get that level 4 tuner onto the field. Negate. Wow. Zombie vampire putting in work, negating that Chandra through the call by the grave as the Sanguine Summon searches for a Genroku, discarding the Chandra, trigger the Genroku to become a level 4 tuner, triggering Promethean Princess, which cannot take out the Fire Dragons, but can in fact take out the Magna Hut, which will trigger the Garunix and the Amble Whale. Amble Whale will reborn the Hida. And now, Garunix being summoned could then pop a Kieran from the deck, which would then destroy the Sanguine Summoning, which would then open up the Fire Dragons to be susceptible to disruption. So because of all of that, we want to negate the Garunix. Forbidden Droplets, send a pot of P, negate the effect to pop our field spell. So we're now fully protected within main phase 1 to make our safely summoned Bident Dragon. Bident Dragon on summon, activate Reborn the Genroku, further making our Transcendent Dragon. As soon as we enter the battle phase, that's it. Nothing is activatable whatsoever. Battle phase it is. Goodbye to Promethean Princess. We are going to Kaiman. Grab from the deck a Fadra. Fadra special summoning as soon as we add it. On summon, reborning from the grave the negated Chandra, which cannot summon from the deck. We're now going to Pydra, synchro with the Chandra to make a Q-Belt. Q-Belt on summon will destroy a card in the field, taking out the Hida, which would normally activate, which is now not activatable, which the Biden could on summon destroy a card. We tried to destroy the Fire King Island, the Fire King Sanctuary, through a continuous effect, which did not activate, protected our field spell from being destroyed. We're not done. We've only just begun. We're now going to Synchro Shokan into our Trident Dragon, which absolutely nothing could stop this. Taking out the Q-Belt and the field spell to then boost up the Trident for 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 18,000 damage. On top of everything we already did. 18,000. What the hell? Volcanics activates. Pop the Kieran, which we didn't chain the Kieran to the Volcanics effects, which you would normally do. That's okay. We're going to special summon the Ponix to the effect of the Kieran, searching for the Fire King Sanctuary. How to calculate 18,000 damage? 6,000 times 3 attacks. Yep, right? Did I mess up something? 6K, 12K, 1,800. We now have Max C chained to the effect to special summon the Garunix. Thus, we're going to Ash Blossom negate, and then we're going to use the Gamma to negate the negate. Negate and destroy the Ash Blossom. Thus, we will be drawing per special summon as you try to summon on my turn. My turn, you're summoning. Summon 1, summon 2, draw 2, pop Volcanics, and that's it. Wait, no, it wasn't your turn. I messed that up. It's actually our own turn. We were trying to do that, and we got to draw 2 cards off of it. And we do have the option, which I think would be a bad one, to use Heat Wave. This is why people say to not play Heat Wave, because when going second, with there already being bodies on the field, neither player could summon effect monsters, but the effect monsters are already on the field. But no further ones would be summonable. We're going to Sanguine Summoning, search our deck. And it's also important to note that if you try to make a play, then it gets disrupted. You can not fall back on activating Heat Wave to lock your opponent out, because it must be the very first thing you do at the start of your main phase. Summon the Pydra, unaffected from effects while we have the Sanguine Summoning. Chandra, activate special summon. Now it's important to note, let's say if they have a Genroku on field, and they activate Genroku to summon from the deck while this is Sanguine Summoning. Can you Ash Blossom it? You can. It will be affected. It's only the cards on field within main phase 1. If it leaves the field to activate, it's no longer protected. We're going to Biden Dragon, reborn the Pydra, as we now make the dreaded Transcendent Dragon. This is the ultimate combo. Transcendent plus a Kaiman. So if you were holding onto your Ash Blossom for that Kaiman, it's going to be too late as we enter the battle phase, turning off all your other cards. Are we doing it? Put everything into attack position. We're setting. Why set this? For our Trident Dragon. It's good to set cards, so within the battle phase, we could pop it in addition to our field spell. We're going to Kieran, pop the Ponix, and that's it. Completely turned off. There is nothing you could do whatsoever. Let's go. We're going to wipe out the Garunix, which now is not able to activate. Search for a Fadra within the battle phase, and then summon the Fadra. Fadra reborn from the graveyard. Whatever you draw into it will not matter, as the Chandra at the start of the damage step summons from the deck of Pydra. We take no damage. We can't be destroyed by battle. We come forth and summon the Biden Dragon. Biden Dragon, take out the Fire King Sanctuary. Goodbye to just additional attacks, as we then take out the Kieran. Get ready for the big Trident Dragon play, which will be right now. Trident Dragon on summon, making sure to summon it on Chainlink 1, otherwise it misses the timing, to boost it up to that 18,000 damage play. 6K, 6K, 6K. Tenpai is pretty good. It is a pretty good deck. Yep, I think so. And it's very interesting to see Tenpai players, a lot of them are now playing Heat Wave, which initially a lot of people are saying Heat Wave sucks, it's only for the side deck, but no, yeah, even in best of 1, even in best of 3 without a side deck, the Heat Wave usage is skyrocketing. Begin. And we are going first with the Crow. We're going to be activating to search our deck for a Majespector spell. With the Majespector Wind, we are going to special summon from our hand, as the Bunbuku is going to add a Majespector monster. And now we're going to Pot of P, dig 6 cards deep for a good turn 1 card. What's that good turn 1 play going to be? It's going to be the Majesty Pegasus. As we now link this up into the Majespector Nui. Nui is going to be adding from the extra deck both of our Majespectors and set another one from the deck into the extra deck, as we now set up the Pendulum Scales to Pendulum Summon between Level 2 and 5, it's going to be summoning our double level 4s, which on summon will now be activating to search our deck for a Majespector trap, as we also set a Majespector spell or trap from the deck. So with that, we're going to talk about the disruptions at the end of the turn. Let's make a Draco Ryu. We're going to be activating the Majespector, Majesty Pegasus that is, to search our deck, and then set up to summon from our Pendulum Scale the Draco Slayer, which has the crazy effect when special summoned by the effect of a Draco Slayer card or Pendulum Summon. Search your deck for any field spell, and what's that field spell? The ultimate counter to Tenpai. If only you control a spellcaster, a Tenpai hand of all spells cannot be activated. Holy moly. That's it, first turn kill, right? Porcupine Summon, we're going to add a Majespector spell in the graveyard and set it. Does anything else matter now? I guess how many spellcasters we have will matter. So let's count up the spellcasters, because the play would be, this is only preventing our spells while they control a spellcaster, so just kill the spellcaster. That's a spellcaster, that's a spellcaster, and they have 3 spellcasters that we have to try to play through. Now, we're going to be met with immediately activating the Majespector Wind. So what's going to happen here is we're going to special summon a Majespector from the deck. Okay, summon for the deck, trigger the Draco Ryu, trigger the Draco Ryu, and trigger the Bunbuku. Okay, we're going to special summon a Wind spell cast from the deck, 2 of them, as we add another Majespector from the deck, and that monster we're going to Droll? What the heck? More importantly is the Kirin. So we already saw Fire King Kirin, but the Majespector Kirin, this used to be on the ban list. It was so good because of the effect of, right now, target a pendulum in your monster zone and 1 monster the opponent controls, return to the hand. So while you're desperately trying to deal with the spellcaster to turn off the field spell, we're just going to spin it back to the hand. End the turn, okay. Maybe we hope that they don't know what we're playing, so just don't summon, normal summon Fadra, there's no point. Wow. Harpy Feather Duster turned off. Call by the Grave turned off. Droplet turned off. And with Tenpai going into game 2, do we want to give Majespector the first play? With them consistently setting up the Spell Village field spell, I don't think we can afford to let them go first. So I would have to think right now, is Majespector a deck that could lethal us going second? Can I set up a Heretic Seal and be okay with just that? I would not be surprised if Trap Plays decides to go first instead while playing Tenpai. Trap Plays has decided that it is not worth it to give a deck that consistently sets up the anti-spell field spell to go first, so we are going first instead. Will it work out? We're gonna have to see the power of Majespector going second. Hydra searching for the Kaimin, activate Chandra, did not chain Max C. We're holding on to our Max C, interestingly. Think about this. How do we Max Seed? We would finger the Max C, which that finger now fingers ourself because we have Max C ourself. Where's the Max C? Just do it. Now we're doing it. And now is Trap Plays willing to finger themselves? That's the big question. What do? You have 2 Max Cs in your hand. You really want to turn them off? No, I would not like to finger myself. I'm going to allow the Max C to resolve, let them draw 2, because I will draw so much more than them during their turn. See, these decisions you gotta make. You can't just go wild to your finger just because you see a Max C. Protect yourself. Now with this Heavenly Sphere, one of the most important effects of it is summoning from the deck. So if you hold on to something like an Ash Blossom, that is what you'd want to use it on. But the problem is, if you Ash the Heavenly Sphere, they then follow up with a Kaimin, another way to get a body on the field. Very consistently, if you let Tenpai get a monster on the field and you enter the battle phase, you are dealing with a Transcendent Dragon, which will put all your monsters into attack and force you to attack, which could self-inflict lethal damage. Alrighty, let's see what we have here. Draco Slayer set up in the Pendulum Scale alongside the Raccoon. We're now going to activate Max C. As we gleefully see, there is no Ash, no finger. Call by the Grave, finger the Majesty Pegasus, activating to search our deck. Or actually, it's not searching. What is it doing? You discard this, and then for the rest of the turn, your Draco Slayer monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Interesting. We're now going to chain Majespector Wind to Reborn to dodge the finger. You ain't fingering nothing, mate. No finger. Nicely done on that Majespector Wind, as we're going to follow up with the Cyclone. We're going to tribute off to then destroy a card on the field. Goodbye to the Heavenly Spheres, as it now jumps off the field to return back the Draco Slayer to summon from the deck, now activating our Bestial Druid Swarm instead of a Tenpai, because we have the Kaimin, which will be the follow-up Tenpai play. Sure. Let's Pendulum Summon it up into our Draco Slayer plus our Majespector from the hand. The Draco Slayer cannot be targeted or be destroyed by card effects, so we're going to safely search for the Secret Village. So you do have a moment on the activation of the village to chain your Kaimin. You don't have to activate it right now preemptively. Now, ideally, we want to activate this in the battle phase so we get the additional effect of summoning the monster in the field, but we don't have to because of Genroku. We could just add Genroku, then summon it. QB is going to be searching, and now, right now, chain the Kaimin at the last possible opportunity where otherwise it would not be activatable. Grabbing the Genroku, trigger the Genroku to now come forth and summon. We can now wait with the Genroku within the battle phase. What did I say? We're gonna summon a Transcendent, and you have to attack. You have to do it. You have to die. Yup, goodbye to you, and goodbye to you. There's no option. We're now going to be special summoning the Draco Slayer, setting up with the Majespector Tempest. Is this enough? When a monster would be summoned, or a monster effect is activated, tribute a wind spellcaster to negate the summon or activation. Now, we still have the benefit of the Secret Village, so the Sky Striker engage. Why did I, what? How is this in a Tenpai deck? Fadra to battle. Now you can't activate anything. Fadra's going to reborn the Chandra. Chandra's going to summon from the deck. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. It was correct to go first with Tenpai. Now, the official confirmation on who's it better to go first and second will be when Majespector chooses to go first to set up that Spellcaster Village. Because normally in tournaments, we are seeing players choosing Tenpai to go first, but not the Secret Village Searcher. Sanguine summoning. Wow, what? I thought that Majespector would want to go first to set up the Secret Caster Village. And then we know Trap Plays wants to go first, so CJ gave Trap Plays exactly what they want. Searching for the Pydra. Pydra is here, searching for the Kaimin. As we now activate Chandra to special summon, come forth into our Heavenly Spheres. Now we're going to follow up engage with no main monsters on the field. We can now activate to grab the Widow Anchor for an additional monster negates. So we can negate a monster plus spin a face-up card back to the hand, and then we can summon a Transcendent Dragon within the battle phase, forcing them to attack to their death. We play through Double Disruption. Yata is going to search for the Cyclone, which will pop a card in the field. We're going to special summon the Porcupine to then make the Nui. Nui is here on summon, attempt to get negated, but the Cyclone could dodge the negates. So what this is activating to do, it's going to add the Majespector Pendulums, and then you're going to put a Majespector into your extra deck. So definitely dodge it. Dodge the Widow Anchor, attempt to pop the Heavenly Sphere. So both disruptions are now gone. No more disrupt. We're going to chain Majespector Wind, which is going to special summon a Majespector from the hand or graveyard. And we're going to chain Max C to the effect of the Hieratic Seal, which has not activated yet, to summon a monster from the deck. So your newly summoned Yata, before it even triggers on field, return back to the hand. Let's add back both of our extra deck cards as we set up another one through the effect of the Nui. Under Max C, summon the Bestial Druid Swarm. Now set up our Pendulum Scales to Pendulum summon from the extra deck and hand Yata and the Draco Slayer. Draco Slayer setting up the Secret Village, which will again force out the early activation of the Kaimin. Right here, right now, we have to do it. Come to us. How impactful will the leak be? Impactful. We're gonna grab a Fadra? What? Where's the Genroku? We're not in the battle phase. Ryu? Huh? Okay. Guess we didn't need to do Genroku. Summon the Fadra. Fadra activate. Reborn the Chandra to now make a Transcendent Dragon. We are going to negate the summon. When the monster would be special summoned, tribute a win to negate the summon or activation. So this has the effect of, it's in the grave. Thanks a lot. I'm now going to summon it from the grave and pop a card in the field. No, you're not. This is not properly summoned. So it can, in fact, not summon. And, oh no, Sang and Summoning Protect. You saw that? Sang and Summoning Protect? No, it didn't. It's not on the field. Your eyes are deceiving you. So let's now highlight the card. And it says improperly summoned. I don't know why highlighting it's not showing that. Maybe it's bugged. I can't show you it, but here, see how it's kind of popping up? Not properly summoned. Monster was not summoned correctly, thus it will not be summoned. Grab Genroku, discard the Thrust, Genroku trigger, special summon, to battle we go. Remember, Transcendent will not be summonable. As the Genroku special summons a Chandra from the deck, come forth and summon a Pydra. It doesn't even matter. We did not need that Transcendent Dragon. Get poppin', and do we play another copy? I don't think we do. I think a lot of people play just one Transcendent because of the effect of being rebornable from the grave. As we now Bident Dragon on summon, reborn from the grave Pydra, we have 26-17. We also have an extra 18,000 damage through a Trident Dragon. 2-1 victory. I think it was a mistake. I think it was a mistake to let Tenpai go first. We are a deck that sets up the Secret Village. You set up Secret Village game 1, game 2, and game 3 on your first turn when you had a play. So I feel like we just had to do it. Turn off the spells. That's how we won game 1. We needed a repeat of game 1. Is Shifter an instant win? Let's find out. Shifter, thus you are no longer able to send cards to the graveyard by cost. So is this send to the grave by cost? Send to the graveyard, it mentions by cost, it has to go to the grave, thus not even activatable. If it was an effect to send to the graveyard, then it would be fine. Right? Yeah, I mean, you Shifter, turning off their turn, you need to have some sort of follow-up play, which you don't. That's the risk of playing Tenpai. Too many non-engine cards. So we're going to set Droplet Pass. We're no longer under the effect of Shifter. We got Maxi, Ash, and the Droplet. Triple ways to stop them in their tracks as we Ash Blossom negate the Absorata from searching for a Rocket Dragon. Negate. Well, Maxi's not really a disruption, so we just have Droplet. Safer into the Striker Dragon. Do we negate the search for the Boot Sector launch? Well, we are choosing to not. We passed on negating, but we're going to chain Maxi to the Nocto Vision. Ash Blossom, negate the Maxi, and now we may change our mind on the Droplet. No, we are not. I would say it's not good. How do you know when to negate the Striker Dragon? If they have their normal summon open, I would not even consider negating it. No siree, no thanks. And the Droplet may be really important for helping us out the Borland Dragon. Borland Dragon is untargetable by monster effects, very difficult to deal with, cannot be destroyed by card effects, so you can't Raigeki it. We are going to Romulus, search for the field spell. Again, we're not negating. Nocta Vision, draw an additional card randomly. Come to me off the top of the deck, a Bestial. Dragon Ravine, discard the Boot Sector launch to send from the deck a Serenir, which will then send the Lubellion here. We're now going to Safer, banish to add back the Lubellion from Engrave. I have a feeling Droplet's not going to be enough. Just got a feeling. We're going to now be searching for a Magna Hut. Magna Hut, banish the Shifter. Thank you for the Dark Monster Engrave. Activate to search during the end phase. Will there even be an end phase? Lubellion set up the Regained. Summon Sorceress and Dragon Link. What? I guess we don't even get to see what it's going to do. It would summon a monster from our hand onto the opponent's field to then summon a monster from our deck equal to the attribute or type of that monster. Yup. Negate. Link 3, negate. We're going to, I mean, it has to be good if it was worth negating, right? We held onto that Droplet forever. Let's keep on going into the Access Code Talker. 5,300 damage with the Leveneer, 4 game, over 8,000 damage. Let's hop into game 2. Now, we will choose for Dragon Link to go first. And they're definitely going to get a Borland Dragon out on the very first turn. We'll talk about that in the next duel. right, can we do it through the disruption of the Heavenly Sphere? Not only do we have the Heavenly Sphere, but we also have a Baldrake play. Baldrake, when the opponent summons a monster from the extra deck, we're going to be able to banish it. So double disruption, and also the Borland itself will be able to negate a monster on field. So triple disruption and outing the Borland, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. There's no way we could do it. Nope. If you do it, I would be amazed. Reborn Magnahot through the Regained, grab the Genroku. Genroku is going to trigger when being added, come forth in special summon. What really sucks here is the Pydra and Dora competed for your normal summon. Pydra is now negated. So it's like we can't even synchro. It's Borland being unstoppable is not even at the highest priority of our issues here. We never even got to that problem. We have Heavenly Sphere, spin back the Dora, the Explorer, summon from the deck the Rocket Tracer, as we then end our turn. Pydra on the fields does nothing. It's also permanently negated. The Borland does not temporarily negate, as we now make the Baron de Floor to negate the Nibiru, negate our own monster, reborn from the grave. Borlode Savage Dragon is here. We're going to equip the Sorceress, pop the Pydra, open field over 10,000 plus a negate with the Baron de Floor. That's a 2-0 victory for Dragon Link taking out Tenpai Dragon. Let's go. Nicely done. Incredible. Sugoi. Let's go. We saw Dragon Link defeat Tenpai. Now, Kid Art, you're up to the batter. Can you do this? Thunder Dragon versus Tenpai. Well, making the Thunder Dragon Colossus can be quite disruptive. They cannot add with Sangan Summoning. They cannot add with the Pydra. I mean, Pydra could set, but then the Kaiman cannot add from the deck. Under Max C, that's going to be quite annoying to deal with. How many special summons are you willing to do under Max C as the Lubellion sets up from the deck? We're going to Ghost Ogre pop it, which of course does not negate, but gets the Lubellion off the field mate. Come to us, the Regained. Baldrake, banish Lubellion, return Lubellion back to draw a card, maybe into another hand trap, which we desperately need something to stop these plays. We're going to Tribute Set to then make the Thunder Dragon Colossus. Right now, there's no impermanence. Did not draw it. Okay, all right. There's another chance to draw Imperm. There's another chance. Are you ready? Imperm? No. All right. Full hand of Tenpai versus the Colossus. Let's go. Can we do it? Pydra has to set. Regain will trigger, reborning the Baldrake from the graveyard, which can be comboed up with the Bestial Druiswarm to banish an extra deck monster being summoned, but not if protected by the Sangan Summoning, which cannot search the deck. But we don't need to search, we have it all in our hand. Maxi, which we could cross out Designate to negate. We're gonna hold on to our Ash Blossom. Oh boy, Kid Art. Okay, do we have another protection? There's another little interaction here. The Colossus states if it would be destroyed, you could banish a Thunder monster from the graveyard instead. But Transcendent Dragon turns off effects, but it only turns off effects from activating, so you could still banish. This will not be plowing through the protection effect. Negate the Maxi, special summon the Chandra, to battle we go. Swing into the Baldrake. We're going to special summon again Roku. Genroku activates summon from the deck into the Pydra. Attack, attack, attack. Pydra now activate. Druiswarm is going to do what? It's going to allow the Baldrake to now be able to tribute off the Druiswarm, and you're in trouble. But not if, yep, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. Banish, summon. Well, now you can't activate it. You cannot use the Baldrake. So we're going to put everything into attack position, but this is our only play. And what did I just say? Colossus will not be destroyed by battle. Kid Art, you did it. You actually did it. Turn one Colossus, threw a Maxi, you brute forced it, you gave them a ton of draws. They did not draw into a droplet, they did not draw into an impermanence. With no imperm or droplet, you are likely to be winning it. Negate the Allure of Darkness. Lupine, activate, banish from the hand in deck, a Dark and a Roar. We're going to summon from the deck and search our deck. We're going to trigger the Regain, return back in the deck to draw a card. So draw, search, and special are now resolving. How do we deal with the Transcendent? I mean, very easily, right? Just Druiswarm in the graveyard, then it will send it to the grave. The problem is, I'm not going to pause, okay? Oh, there you go. Just make sure it doesn't hit the grave. The problem was if we get Transcendent in the grave, it reborns after 3 attacks. So there you go, no problem. If we don't want it reborning, just banish it. You're out. And there we go. Over 11,000 damage. Chaos Angel dealing with the Transcendent. Colossus protecting from battle and effect destruction and locking them from searching the deck. Yeah, buddy. Do it again. Do it again, right? We don't care about Colossus. You may go first again. We chose for you to go first. We got Ogre, Ash, Imperm, Maxi, Sanguine Summoning. Is this not a custom hand or what? I mean, that's pretty damn good. We're ready for the next turn. It would be even better if Sanguine Summoning was on top of the deck and we just had another hand trap. Gold Sark. Banish from the deck. Trigger the effect of the roar to come forth and summon from the deck. Our Hawk. We're going to set. We're triggering the Hawk to recycle our hand. We don't like this hand. We're going to return it back. Get out. Now, what really sucked here, this is crazy. We can't summon Colossus because you have to activate a Thunder monster from the hand and have a Thunder monster in the field. Now, Thunder Dragon activates from the hand to search for a Thunder Dragon, but we had 3 freaking Thunder Dragons in our opening hand. So thank you for not Ash Blossom negating the Thunder Dragon Hawk, which was allowing us to now mulligan our hand. Return it back, and now, because of that activation, because we returned it back in the deck, only now can we make a Colossus, but there's an impermanence. But the counter to impermanence would be summon a second one. Oh my gosh, we have 3 in our extra deck. We couldn't summon a second or third? And there you go. It all came down to that single imperm or droplet being able to negate the Colossus, as we now can freely search our deck for whatever we want. Get rid of that Ghost Ogre, Genroku, trigger after being added, special summon, Druiswarm's gonna banish from the graveyard, but we still have the protection of the Colossus. That's not for nothing. It could still potentially wall off a lethal play. Per Thunder we have in the grave, well, no, it's negated. I'm completely wrong on that. Yep, imperm negate, never mind, mate. We're going to mulligan. YOLO return back for another Druiswarm, which is not activatable more than once per turn, so that is also screwed. Vajra reborn, the Genroku. We have Kaimin into Chundra. Okay, I'm like, what? Hold up, what do we do here? Kaimin, come forth, Chundra. Chundra, special summon. Chundra can now special summon from the deck a Pydra. Yeah, buddy, Pydra is now going to synchro it up into our Transcendent Dragon. Transcendent Dragon is gonna... Why did we skip Biden? What? 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 Where's the Bidens? Where's the Bidens? Where's the Biden? No Biden. What? We like definitely had lethal here. There's no way we skipped the Biden. The Biden got skipped. Am I missing something? Why didn't we Biden? Oh my goodness. Gold Sark. Banishing from the deck. I think maybe we just got nervous. That's something we misclicked or we got nervous. Transcendent looks like Biden. They look very similar. Yeah, that's what happened. Masquerena is here. Come forth. We're going to Thunder Dragon Dark. Trigger the Druiswarm. Get the Transcendent in the grave. Remember, with Transcendent in grave, it will reborn in whenever. After 3 attacks have been declared from either player, it can summon during the battle, the end phase, and on summon, it will non-target pop a card in the field. We're gonna make our Thunder, Dragon, Colossus. Remember, you can criticize the plays, do not attack the player here, thank you. Druiswarm banishing the Ghost Ogre, sent to the grave, come forth, Lubellion from our graveyard. As we now Lubellion set up into the back row are regained, further making a Little Knight. If we activate Little Knight, we're not gonna be able to attack directly, goodbye to the Fadra. To battle phase we go, just 2 attacks. Well, or 1, because we can't attack directly, thus the Transcendent. And a lot of people may not remember that the Transcendent and Bident reborning from the graveyard, it's not once per turn, it's once per duel. After it happens, it cannot happen again. That's why the deck has to win that turn. Grabbing a Chandra off the top. So you see, Konami made an effort to help balance Tenpai, because when we talk about Tenpai being more balanced, we always all bring up the fact that Biden and Transcendent's only once per duel, making them much more fair. What? 2 turns passed on Gold Sark? That would only happen 20 years ago. Okay, we have the effect of the Thunder Dragon Fusion, grabbing the Chaos Creator, banish the Light and Dark to come forth and summon. We're going to trigger the Battery Man Solar plus the Thunder Dragon Dark, search our deck, draw a card, and send from the deck. Or summon a token, that is. Return back, draw, search our deck for the Thunder Dragon. Holy moly, we are in big trouble. Token is here. Chaos Angel, say goodbye. On summon, goodbye to the Chandra, as the Chaos Creator is going to be reborning back the Banished Thunder Dragon to then make our triple material Apollo USA at 2400 attack. We're going to use the Roar to add back a Banished or Engraved Thunder Dragon card. Come to us, Thunder Dragon Fusion, as we're now going to fuse with the graveyard into a triple-headed Dragon Titan. And just like that, 11,000 damage plus. Up, Transcendent Dragon. Up, Apollo USA, negate. I don't think so, mate. Lethal damage. Nicely done. Nicely done. Yep. Where does it say it on it? Could only use the effect. Even if the activation's negated, your once per duel use is gone. Boom. 2-0. Thunder Dragon defeating Tenpai. Salamgreat in the tournament here. We're going to be Gazelle and Gazelle send from the deck. Since there are many ways to interact with that newly sent card, we're going to negate. So Ash negating Gazelle, let's see what's going to happen from this actually resolving. Now, we're setting up with the Salamgreat Sanctuary. Let's talk about what we accomplished here. We have an Omni negate with the Salamgreat Roar. It does not negate a summon, but it will negate a spell, trap, or monster effect. It does not negate an already face-up spell or trap. It has to be the card itself activating. And the Salamgreat Pyro Phoenix is going to very simply destroy all cards your opponent controls through the effect of the Code of Soul, which is only activatable during the opponent's main phase. So full field wipe plus negate anything plus Ash Blossom plus Promethean Princess on special summon pop. Got 4 great disruptions. Yeah. Heat Wave, you can't Promethean, you can't Code of Soul into the field wipe. You do have Ash, you do have Salamgreat Roar, and this is extending until the next turn also. Your turn, you cannot additionally summon any more effect monsters. Even if it's a normal summon, it does not happen. We're not going to negate the search. Pot of P, banish 6, look at the top 6 cards of our deck. No, you will not. Negate. Chandra could be set. Could set it. If we fear getting lethaled with the current 5,600 damage, no. Well, how are they going to lethal? How? Give them anything. There's no way to perform that lethal damage. Can't summon Gazelle, can't link, nothing. So we're back to our original 4 disruptions. We had an additional Ash. Can't imperm. Getting blocked by our own Kashtira field spell, special summon Unicorn, trigger the effect of the Promethean, wipe out the Unicorn. We have 3 more disruptions left. Come forth, back in the field, Raging Phoenix, and boost up to 5,600. Yeah, we're not gonna even try. What's there to try? Why? Maybe they don't know that we're playing Tenpai. Is that possible? Did we reveal any Tenpai cards besides Heatwave? We're Heatwave Kashtira, bro. It's the new tech. Begin. Tenpai going for Nacer. Wow. Salamgreat's turn 1 isn't considered to be that great. But Nacer playing Tenpai is like, what are you talking about? You saw that nonsense? Negate, field wipe, mate? No, I'm gonna go first. Set up the Sangan Summoning, protect it with the Pydra Summon. There is a Forbidden Droplet on the follow-up. Otherwise, we have a completely unhindered turn 1, which would just be a Hieratic Seal and nothing else. We're going to Genroku, Tribute, summon from the deck, Fadra, Reborn, the Genroku. So you do want to do that. In addition to your Hieratic Seal, it makes it better. And there we go. Drop with the field, then what? You have to deal with a Droll and a Maxi. The Droll turns off our own Maxi, so do be careful about that. Signet Mining, discard, chain the Forbidden Droplet, sending a monster. Whoa, we did not send a monster. We sent 2 spells. So the problem here is the Droplet now negates nothing. How is it negating nothing? Because you Heavenly Sphere, return back the Sangan Summoning, you sent 2 to negate 1, thus you negate none. Yep, dodged. Genroku, you didn't have to jump, my friend, but your newly summoned card will not be negated. All right, Chandra is going to be protected. Return back the Sangan Summoning. Droplet, nothing. Chandra is not negated. Fully protected. To stop what just happened, we had to send a monster. Fadra summoned from the deck to the effect of the Hermetic Seal, reborning another Fadra from the graveyard, which Fadra has the passive effect of our monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So you deal with Fadra in main phase 1, but there's 2 of them. And you're also under Max C. So how do we deal with Fadra? Under Max C against Tenpai, you have to take the Max C challenge. You have to. You lose next turn. There is no choice to passively set up a single disruption then end. You have to win it right here, right now. You need multiple disruptions or you need to win the game. We're going to send from the deck the Jack Jaguar, steal the Pydra from the opponent's graveyard, further link this up into a Promethean Princess. Does Ludmilla have it in them to win on the very first turn of theirs going second? I don't see it. We're making a Raging Phoenix. Let's further link it up into another Raging Phoenix. Sure, this will trigger the effect to search our deck, which the Ash will negate. No search for you, which could have been the continuous spell to resummon a bunch of Salamangreats in the grave. That was a big negate. Jack Jaguar returned back from the grave to summon from the graveyard. We're now going to Weasel, special summon itself onto the field. As we now exceed into the Mirage Stalio to summon a monster from the deck. We could maybe try to deck them out. Is that possible? Probably not. Salamangreat being able to do that. We're going to grab a Spinny, which will be rebornable by discarding itself to then reborn. We're now making the Sunlight Wolf. Trigger the Weasel. We're going to summon a body onto both sides of the field. This will allow the Promethean to destroy one of the Fadras, but we're going to destroy the Balinks instead. Come forth. 19 summons left. DD Crow, if you could barely see it at the edge of the screen, discard to banish the Raging Phoenix. No summon for you. We're going to be making Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix, which on our own turn, we're gonna wipe out the entire field. Let's do it. What is the damage we have here? 7,600. This is not enough. Full field wipe, no Veiler, nothing. We can't stop it. Triple Drone Lockbird. This is absolute insanity. Wipe the field, but there's Bystials to block damage. What do we do about the Bystials? 8,100. We thought we had it, but we don't. Block the lethal attack. Thus, we scoop it up, taking this into a game 3. Was that a good try? I think so. That was a great try. Good on you. Thank you for showcasing that. The Bystial got you. And how many Bystials do Tenpai play? 1. And I mean, we had them draw a ton of cards, but still, it was 1 Bystial. They only play 1. We're going to Code of Soul, activate the effect to allow us to overlay. As we then make a Balinks, do we imperm the search of the Salamangreat Sanctuary? No. You could hold imperm all the way till the Link 4, because the Link 4 searches for an Omni Negate or another way to disrupt. This is a horrible turn 1. What the heck? Heat Wave. My hand sucks too, bro. Back to you. Imperm, Dora, Droll, DD Crow, set the Ash since we can't normal summon it. I mean, we got Dora. Dora plus Called, is that really that bad? We really wanted to Heat Wave instead? It's kind of interesting. Now, we will, of course, finger the Veiler. So, is it safer to Ash a Dora if you have a Veiler? It is, because they finger your Ash, you follow up with Veiler, they finger your Veiler. You cannot follow up with Ash unless you're negating some other effects that the Dora is searching into. Negate. Dora the Explorer, come to me, our Chandra. Now, it's okay. We have Ash. If I know you have Ash, you literally can't use it against me. You can't. I will Chandra summon for the deck in the damage step. I will Pydra search for Kaiman in the damage step. Oh, now you could Ash my Kaiman. No, you can't. I will make a Meteor Burst or a Transcendent Dragon, then I'll activate Kaiman. So at 3 points, cannot Ash, you cannot Ash. If we play this correctly, they cannot Ash. Not possible. Chandra, Dora the Explorer, trolling, getting a Fadra into the grave. Can't Ash. Can't Ash. Do not activate this unless you make a Transcendent or a Meteor Burst. Do not do it. Do not. You have the freest win. The freest win. Let's go. Perfect. Perfect. Ash. Because we didn't Ash, then lead with Valor, we lost. We had the mindset of Ash is better used on Kaiman, which is correct. That's true. That's totally true. But that's why I'm summoning a Meteor Burst so you can't even Ash. So we had to Ash then Valor. I know you want to save the Ash for a better moment, but if they play well, they could just completely play around it and you are screwed either way. Just use the Ash when you can. Damn, perfect example of holding the Ash killing you. Begin. All Canix popping, the Kirin searching for a Ponix trigger. The Ponix come forth and summon, chain the Max Seed to the Ponix being summoned here. We've got a Ghost Spell, which is quite interesting. This works against something like a Biden Dragon or a Fadra, and this works against Fadra in the damage step. Where Ash could not be used in the damage step, Ghost Spell can. Imperm, negate the Ponix. We can't use the Skyburn to pop our own cards. We have to pop theirs at the same time. Off the top of the deck, a Loki, as we're going to Harpy Feather Duster, wipe out the back row, just to pop the Volcanics to trigger the effect to then summon from the deck a Garunix. Now, Ghost Spell against plants. How good will that be? Is it good enough to stop them in their tracks? Well, we're going to get a free draw off of that Maxi special summon of the Garunix here. The Garunix, if destroyed, does have the effect to special summon a Fire King from the deck. As we now make a Dryas. Dryas searching for the Sunvine Sowing. We're going to Mudon, tribute off the Dryas to special summon here to set up and search for our Rikka Con. With the Rikka Con, we are going to set a Rikka card from the deck, our Rikka Glamour. And with our Rikka Glamour, we can tribute off your monster as if it were our own to search for a Rikka Princess and a Cactus freaking Bouncer. But we already used up our normal summons. How do we get the Bouncer out? We're going to special summon the Rikka Princess. I know the answer. We're going to summon our Dryas, a delayed Dryas to then Sunvine Sowing, summon from the deck. Not the Twin, because the Twin is in the hand. But the Twin would have been negated by the Ghost Spell. What the? We are going to Rikka Bloom. We could Chain Link block it if we want to. We are now going to Ragnarika Wicked Butterfly triggers to do what? You could draw a card during the end phase. Okay. The Melius attempting to reborn the Loki from the graveyard will be negated, but the Princess will negate. We will reborn our Loki through the Link 3 Melius. You will not stop us. Come forth from the graveyard, further linking this up into the Thrasher. Thrasher can steal the opponent's monster. Triple attack, 3,200, attack, steal, attack, attack. As we then make the Bangla Lancer. Bangla Lancer is here, spin the Fool back to the hand, attack 1, attack 2, lethal damage. We had one more attack, right? We had another one? The Melius, you target Sunvine you control that this points to. It can attack up to the number of Sunvine links you can currently control. The Sunavalon links, is it count itself? No, okay, it's attacked 2 times, right? Is it 2 additional or 1? A number of times up to the number you currently control. It's just 2, thank you, just 2. Begin. Discard our Subversion and come forward, Diablo Star, set up our Original Sinful, send Diablo Star. Let's speed this up. What did we accomplish? Quite a lot. We have the ability to pop a card in the field or multiple with the Skyburn. We have negate a monster with Arvata. We have the ability to pop a card in the field with Amble Whale and Reborn the Mask Arena to go into a Little Knight double banish. We have the Promethean Princess to pop a special summon. We also have Garunix, which can pop a card in the field through the Kirin. 7 disruption plus a Call by the Grave Finger. Let's go. We're going to Skyburn, pop that Loki, taking out the Arvata, now down to 6 disruption, triggering the Arvata to Reborn from the grave, a Ponix. We have the Ragnarika Bloom, searching our deck for the Wicked Butterfly. Wicked Butterfly, special summon this card, or discard a summon from our hand, the Ragnarika Evil Seed. Searching for the Beetle and a Bloom. We're going to banish the Beetle, as we then link off the Ragnarika Evil Seed into our Dryas, but it wasn't summoned through a non-effect monster, so it doesn't get the effect to search. We have Rikka Glamour to tribute off a plant to search for a Princess, plus the Cactus Bouncer. 6 disruptions left, even through all of these plays. Special summon Princess, pass on any form of disruption, making a second copy of the Dryas, and then like what? You just like ran around in circles and we just held on to all our disruption, not caring. We're gonna pop our card in the end phase, summon Garunix, pop from the deck a Kirin, Reborn the Arvata, pop a card on the field. And let's now wrap up this duel. Let's go. Fire King Island, pop from the hand, grab a Kirin. We have 7,700 damage on the field here. Come forth and summon, further going into a Zealantis. Zealantis, banish the whole field, return the whole field back onto the field, then pop it with the Promethean Princess, then go in for game. So we know going first, the risk is they're gonna have a Cactus Bouncer disallowing us from special summoning whatsoever. But they don't have insulation from a card like Impermanence. We're all playing Impermanence. So if you know they're gonna set up that Cactus Bouncer, it may be best to just not imperm. If they could play that imperm and summon the Cactus Bouncer, you for sure lose. We're going to activate Unexpected Die, special summon the Loki into the Dryas. Just like that. Are we screwed? Yes. So the bouncer just states that neither player can special summon. And I'll talk about all the other disruptions if they were to matter, but they don't matter at the moment until they will matter. Let's see what happens. We're gonna Volcanics, activate Skyburn. Well, how do we protect bouncer from Skyburn? We have a spell as a material under the Hyperton. So Hyperton will be able to negate a spell. Pop the bouncer. No, you shall not. Negate. Now we cannot negate a monster with the Hyperton. Goodbye to the burn and GG. That's it. Game over. Bouncer for the win. Thank you, top 16. This is the end of the video. We'll be advancing to the top 8, starting off with Tenpai against Dragon Link. We all know that Dragon Link has the Borderland Dragon to keep Tenpai at bay. Will it be enough within the top 8 to stop Tenpai? Again, find out in the next video.